Welcome September. Boy, the wind is howling. You might even be able to hear the wind. You can definitely see it. You see them trees over there in the distance just a blowing. It's a bit chilly this morning. It's only supposed to go up to like 69, 70. Then we're gonna go back up high 70s, low to mid 80s. So this is that cold front that came through yesterday. Dropped us another 0.2 of an inch. So I went from having 0.6 of an inch for the first 3 weeks of August to ending up with 4 inches total in August. So that's what we got the last 10 days basically of August. We got 2.4 inches of rain. So like I said, beans, pretty sure it's gonna help. Corn, maybe a little test weight, but I was gonna fly the drone, but I definitely ain't now because of the wind. But you can see across the top of the corn, you know, you can see it's starting to brown. I don't know how well you can see way up on the hill. That bean field is starting to get, oh, my favorite mailman. That's sarcasm. The beans are starting to get some yellow to them. So I think after I go and get my mother's mail for them, and whatever mail of mine that's in the mailbox, because, you know, dipshit can't figure out that I live 100 yards down the road, if that, and he just drove right by our mailbox, so quite sure my mail's in hers, but, you know, quality federal employee. Anyways, things are turning. Yesterday I looked at some corn that way, the farm 4 or 5 miles south that I work, that had gotten a little more rain in July, like a ½ inch storm that we didn't. Looked pretty decent. I mean, there's some tip back here and there. There's some ears that don't look the greatest, but there's quite a few that look pretty good. So when I start looking around, I'm gonna, like I said in the previous video, I'm gonna try to go like back over there where I walked in this cornfield and I walked into the bean field. No, I won't be in the exact spot. I didn't GPS it like I told you, but I'll be close. But I did walk in right here across from the grain facility, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, and I found quite a few ears in there that were 20 around. So, but obviously as you come down the hill this way, it got more moisture because water runs downhill. So when you get those 3-inch rains in an hour or two, like we were getting back in June, this stayed pretty good. I'm sure the upper part of the field is not quite as good, but all in all, I don't think our crop's going to be horrible. Let's put it that way. All right, I don't remember if I showed you this little 4-acre chunk behind my shop. My auger is being overrun by weeds there. Yeah, I need to hand spray there. I should have hand sprayed that earlier. And I got a few velvet leaves that are breaking out, not very many. Got a few over by the house too, but I should have hand sprayed these, but I didn't. I did do the ones over by the house. But anyways, let's wander in here a little. I think I did show this field when I was doing my little crop tour video. We're not going in very far, but let's just get down in here and see what we got. Lots of pods. Pods are filling out real good now. I mean, that's pretty good and size bean in there. As you can tell, they're podding out right up to the top now. There's a nice 3-bean pod right towards the top of that plant. You're not really seeing any flowers anymore. There's, get out of the way, leaf. There's a couple that are still good and fuzzy that, it's got good sized beans in it. There's a little 2-bean one at the top that are filling out. So basically, all that rain has helped. You know, we're past, now that we're in September, we're past the point of they're not going to keep, or at least, all right, let me get this right for you non-farmers. Mine aren't going to keep flowering because they were planted, you know, ones that are planted earlier still might show a few flowers on top, but these are pretty much podding right to the top now, as you can see. No more flowers. So All right, bear with me. I just broke off a 3-bean pod. Here we go with the profits of the year, ruining them. Hate when that happens. These are a son of a bitch to peel open too. Come on. And I just disintegrated one of those beans. But anyways, let me get the camera flipped around here. That's what the pods inside look like right now. They've got that membrane on the outside of them. 3-bean pod. Those beans are kind of look like a lima bean or whatever right now, kidney bean. They will shrink down and become round and hard for you non-farmers. That's what they will look like, which I'll show you that when we get to that point. But we won't get to that point until you see all of these leaves turning brown and falling off, starting to fall off. As you can see, looking down in the plant, they're starting to dry from the bottom up now, getting yellow leaves at the bottom, which is how it works. So I'm very satisfied with my E3 beans this year. First time planting them. So they look like they're potted up pretty good. Like I said, tall in a previous video, you can have beans up to your chest. Doesn't mean they're going to be great beans. Depends on how many pods are on them, the size of the beans inside, and the test weight of them. Oh yeah, the other day when I was spraying around my bins, to kill weeds, no, I wasn't using vinegar. For whoever the lady was that, I hope you're using vinegar. No, sorry. If that upsets you, you can leave. I don't care. I was using that horrible Roundup that, all of the government alphabet soup agencies have tested for years, and there's zero tests out there, zero proof that it causes cancer. But, somebody uses it that worked at a school for a year or so in their grounds department, groundskeeping, and they happen to get cancer, so they file a lawsuit. Where? California, of course. Whatever, not going into it. It's bullshit. Today we fucking sue for anything. So wonder why farmers, at least all of them that I know of, live to be into their, well into their 80s, and use shit that was a lot harsher than that. But anyways, I digress. Here was some volunteer beans that were, got flung out of the hopper when we were unloading beans, and they just started growing here. So those were last year's beans, which were not Enlist like my this year's. I had a little of the Enlist spray left over that I had, when I was cleaning out the sprayers, I put it in a jug and I sprayed these. Well, that's why you don't spray non-Enlist beans with Enlist, because it's killing them. There's a cricket over here, if you can hear it. All right, let's jump in the gator, go check out those 2 fields up the pathway. We'll go over to the test plot, wander in there, check that out. Let's see, where did I take you last time? Oh, I took you up back to beans that were planted May 30th, so they were some of the later beans that were still flowering a lot at that time, if I remember in that video. No, I don't remember the name of that video. And I think they didn't have a lot of pods on top, so let's go see what they got too. As you can see on the outside of the fields, and it is happening inside too, they are starting to dry down. I mean, if we still had cows, the dairy, we'd be chopping corn right now, without a doubt. So, but we don't have cows anymore. Yay! And I never want to have cows again. So, but yeah, the corn is definitely drying down. Beans, you don't see it as much yet, because like I said, it was from the bottom. So I don't know where I was, but I know I was somewheres in this general area. So we're gonna just stop here. Yeah, I think I'm roughly where I was. So let's go in the cornfield first. This is always fun. But one of the first things we're gonna notice when we walk in, compared to last time, look at that nice dark dirt. Look at that moisture. Yeah. Whew. All right. bear with me with all the leaves slapping you in the face, the same as they're slapping me in the face. I don't even know how the hell many rows in I am now. Oh, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. Tripping on one. 7, 8, 9. I'd say we can stop at 10. This is 10 right here in front of us. So you can see by the husks, get the leaf out of the way, they're drying down. Husks are turning yellow. You know, some of them still got some green, but things are definitely yellowing down now. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to measure off my 17.5 feet, count the number of harvestable ears in that 17.5 feet, grab certain ears. You'll find out my yield when I find out my yield when we start combining. But we're going to pull back, so bear with me again, like in that one video. We are going to pull back some husks. Boy, that's a pulling it off. There goes the profits. I know you're all over Hell's Creation right now. You're probably getting dizzy. But whoa, check that out. The old camera spun right in my arm. Now there's a short chubby. Oh, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That one's only about 25 long, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 20. That one's 22 around. So 22 around, but only about 25 long. Yes, I, like stick them back in there. Whether or not they're still there come harvest, I don't know. The birds probably get them. But let's tear this one back. Like I said, I'm not going to go and tear a bunch back. That one's definitely better. Not quite as much tip back. A little longer ear because it goes down to, where my fingers are down there. Let's see how many around that one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That one's a 20 around. So this was that DeKalb 46, 28, I think it was the number. I don't know. But, okay. To not be that farmer who takes you in the field and goes, oh, look at that 22 around, and look at that 20 around. Well, here's a shitty ear. So let's see what the shitty ear looks like. Well, actually, it's not horribly shitty. It does have the tip back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That one's only 16 around. Probably 6 inches long, maybe not quite. I mean, all in all, I don't hate our corn crop. Are there some ears that are like, I'm actually looking for a really shitty ear. Found one. Look at that beautiful stalk right there, huh? Right there's a yield getter. Okay, but you find that. Everybody does. I'll just show it to you. A lot of them won't. So, but when you got that, and then you got these really damn good looking ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them right before it. Those don't look bad. Overall, you can tell looking at this video compared to when I took you out 2 or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. The ears are definitely filling out better. We're definitely dented now. No, it's not a hard dent. It's still a soft dent. So we're, depending on the weather, 2, 3 weeks out. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, probably 3 to 4 easily. But you can see how it's drying down from the bottom up. This isn't firing anymore because of the heat and lack of moisture. This is just drying down now. Like I said, If I had cows, I'd be chopping. Oh, alright, turning you off. Alright, that was a struggle. Now we're in the bean field, behind my house, behind the old dairy barn. Alright, wind's blowing like hell. Beans are blowing all over. I'm trying not to step on them and squish them. So this was planted early. Didn't bring my book. The wind is being a pain in my ass. But as you can tell, yellowing on the bottom. Podding all the way up. You know, there's a pod that's just, that's a 3-bean pod trying to finish making itself. 2-bean pod. Oh, yeah. But I know, you're getting dizzy. Well, lots of beans on these pods. You're not seeing any more flowers. Tiny little flower there that's not done anything. But they're pretty much, they're to their maturity as far as now they just need to finish filling out and dry down. So, but as you can tell, looking at it, boy, look at them things. That's actually neat looking when the wind blows through a bean field like that. Looks like waves when you look out into it. But, and these are, you know, still up to the man parts. They're obviously not going to get any taller, but they look good. We didn't get much bug pressure this year. It's to the point now, if we did, it really wouldn't, you know, matter much. I think they're filling out nice. So at this point, it is what it is anyhow. It's September. You're not going to change it. But all right, let's go look at the later planted beans. They're not the latest planted beans, but the ones behind my way up, or not way up, but up behind the shop. You can see the beans on the gravelly knob there. They're shorter. They're turning yellow because they're drying out. These ones over here that I showed you that were shorter on the gravelly knob, they're drying out, turning yellow. So, but they're not bad looking. I mean, and the corn is just, it's amazing how much the corn is drying down. But like I said, we had, you know, 6/10 of an inch for the first 21 days, and then we had 3.4, yeah, 3.4, because we ended up with 4 inches for August. So I think I might have misspoke earlier in the video about that, but yes, we had 4 inches for August, but almost 3.5 of it came the last 10 days. So I don't know what we'll be doing first this year, corn or beans, but I'm starting to think corn. All right, these were the ones up back, planted May 30th. Get out in them a little ways here. But these are the same now. Lots of pods all the way up through. Pretty much done flowering. There's a little flower right there still. Whether it makes a pod, I don't know. But a couple of 3-bean pods right next to it. A couple little tiny flowers here and there, but for the most part, we're just podding up now. These are even starting to turn yellow on the bottom. So, a lot of pods down through there. I don't know. Like I said, it's the 1st of September. We'll see what happens as to what. I would like to do beans first, because it's nice to get the beans off before the weather starts turning shitty. Let's put it this way, if you got a freaking, you know, 6-8 inches of heavy wet snow the 1st of November and you still had beans out, that's not good. But once the snow gets off the ears, you know, melts off, you can still pick corn. So basically when the beans are ready to go, even if we do start corn first, we switch and we get on beans and we don't stop till we can get the beans done. And as you saw in last fall's videos, we did beans, then we switched to corn because last year was just the nightmare, so wet. And we finished corn, and then no, we didn't quite finish corn. We went back to finish the last 120, 30 acres of beans, And then we went back to finish the last year was just like a lot of fun. Yeah, sarcasm. All right, there's the test plot. No, we're not going in it, tearing any ears off in there. I want that to be as true as it can be, but we're gonna go in to the field across from it. Now, you look at that ear right there, because it's right here on the headland. Lots of sun, air, you know, monster ear, but that's the way it is. So, and then you look at this ear right here, which I'm gonna tear off, peel back, because this is right on a corner. So I probably had the anhydrous off to, come on, to square off the corner. I know I'm shaking you all over hell's creation, folks. Bear with me. But all right, this ear I would call, that's Biden corn right there. Yeah. Quality at its greatest. Yeah. FJB. So let's go up in here. Oh, I just got stuck in the neck. And you can tell, like on the corners where it's a little more yellow, where I'm shutting the anhydrous applicator off. Now as you go up through here, all of a sudden, boom, green, 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 green. You know, nice green. Whew. I got that Biden ear in my pocket. So here's, you know, a whole bunch of pretty nice looking ears right in a row. Same with over there in that row next to it. Same with this row behind me. So it's not like I'm going to find you the best ear to tear open so I can say, look at my crop, it's better than somebody else's. My crop will be what it will be. So, but denting, not hard dent yet. Little tip back. Got a little worm issue right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That one's only 14 around. But they look good up through here. Well, let's tear into one more just to see. I know, shaking you all over again. Little tip back again, not horrible, surprising for as dry as we were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That one's 18. So if you average those two, you got 16. So, but like I said, looks, you know, looks good up through here. I'm not just walking to the best ear. I mean, you can't tell me they don't look all similar. Well, here's a shitty one. So, like I said, I'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, there's one where the dry weather really affected it bad. What's that? A good 1.5 inches, 2 inches of tip back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 around. So that's not a great ear of corn, but right next to it, another big one, another big one. So as you can see, they're starting to dry and even pop the husks open. There's a mammoth. Holy shit. That son of a bitch is huge. That thing's about 9 inches long. So I don't know. I'm thinking, look at the corn swaying with the wind howling the way it is. Children of the corn. So I'm thinking we might be doing corn first before we do beans. But for you non-farmers, walking through a cornfield really sucks. Getting slapped in the face all the time with leaves and stuff. Yeah, they're itchy. It's a good time. So, all right, I'm driving back home. I'm not picking on any neighbors or anything, but see all the weeds and shit that are growing in those beans, and those beans are turning pretty fast too, but I don't know how well you can tell out there. A lot of weedy patches. Quite sure they're probably extend beans, which is why I switched to enlist beans, because that's what my beans look like the last few years too. When you get moisture in August and you get that late crop of weeds that come through, I'm not seeing it with my enlist beans, so I like them. Alright, I'm back to the shop, and I'm going to end this video. And what I'm going to end it with says everything. Trump's economy versus Pudding Brain's economy. Yep. Tell me I'm wrong, haters, because I'm sure you'll try.